consideration today and ask that from 9 a.m. until the close of the flying display at 4, you don't carry out any surfing or any other watercraft activities off Nobby's Beach. Regrettably, if you do so, as Neil's just said, for safety reasons, we will be forced to suspend the show. So thanks for your cooperation. We do really, really appreciate it.
Now, we really hope you are looking forward to what is going to be a fantastic day today. Myself, Neil Whitehead, and Peter Anderson and Greg Hinks will be commentating throughout the day.
Excellent. We are just minutes away now from the start of the flying. Our program begins with 100 Squadron, the Heritage Squadron for the...
It looks like I might be having some signal trouble. Hang in there as best you can, guys. And
well, we're back on. We just had a little glitch up here, so nothing to worry about. As I was saying, the aircraft...
Yes, Mel, it started. That's the first aircraft there.
Squadron Leader Sam
past.
de Grassa Costa. He is the Executive Officer of number 100 Squadron. He is in the lead. And we also have the Wedgetail, and it is flown today by Squadron Leader Derek Fox. All of these very, very highly experienced pilots flying these machines have a variety of experience.
Yeah,
from
it looks like I might have some
F-18,
signal issues, Faith.
PC9.
We're going to persist as best we can.
And we've got a lot of civilian experience up there as well.
It seems to be
as I was saying, the
cutting in and
Wirraway
out
was the
for
first
me.
mass-produced aircraft in Australia.
If it persists, I'll do a recording.
Of these being built.
Hi,
now,
Mel, it's buffering, is it?
Aircraft Corporation.
Okay, thanks for letting me know that.
Right next to where the Westgate Bridge now stands. The CT4 in the lead actually took over as our primary.
I suspect I might have a lot of
aircraft.
competition for signal here today.
It developed from the Victor Air Tour, and Victor, yes, that is the guys that you use to make your lawn mowers. You can see the flight has separated now. The AESL CT4 air
I don't know which
trainer,
way they went.
known as the Plastic Parrot. That is the aircraft that is orange.
Oh, there they
and
are.
white.
And that's what I was going to ask you, Pete. Why is it known as the Plastic Parrot?
Because it took over actually from the Wedgetail that separated, and the pilots that flew the Wedgetail, it's a very solid aeroplane. When they got into this other aircraft, there's pop rivets there and it looked like a light aeroplane. And at the time it was painted yellow and green.
Oh, so thanks for hanging in there, Sarah. And as I said, if we continue to have problems, I'll record what I can for you and share it with you later.
Call it the Parrot.
But let's just hang in there for as long as we can.
Sam bringing the aircraft in now. Don't worry about the smoke from the Wirraway, folks. That is all normal as part of the smoke system that's applied to that. Bit of a wing waggle there from both machines.
And it's fair to say that hundreds, if not thousands, of RAAF pilots have been trained on the Parrot.
Absolutely. And the Wirraway as well. It was our advanced trainer during the Second World War and formed part of our Empire Air Training Scheme commitments, where 131,000 pilots went through that scheme during the war.
So when you
Wirraway,
have,
of course, famous.
when you have sound, are you hearing the
Flight Lieutenant Archer, who actually shot
commentary,
down a Japanese fighter
description?
in a very light aircraft like the Wirraway, only machine guns about rifle calibre. That aircraft remains
Hi, Cheryl.
on display
Oh, it's a shame
down at
that
the
it's still
Australian War
buffering.
Memorial. Coming in now, the CA-25, the Wedgetail, which is an Aboriginal word meaning young eagle, and very, very appropriate for its use as a training machine. It actually took over from the World War II Tiger Moth, the biplane, one of which is flying. They were withdrawn from training in 1976
Oh, gosh, it's hard to catch.
with the CT4 that we saw earlier on. But they
there. I
continue
think I
to
got him in
equip
frame
number
now.
4 flight based up here at Williamtown for forward air control training. and also with number 76 Squadron for forward air control training as well.
Oh, excellent,
What
Mel. I'm
is
glad.
that forward air control?
Oh, you're buffering.
It's basically
Oh, dear.
what
Now
aircraft
Claire's
were
buffering.
developed for in World
All right.
War One. So
We're
that
going to
they
just
could
do the best we
see
can, guys.
what was
All
going
right,
on the
and
ground,
as I
report
said,
back,
if
and then
it
the,
fails on us,
the other
I'll
Air
do
Force
some recording
aircraft
as
or
well.
artillery or whatever could be employed to defeat the enemy. And that
Now,
is
where's
the
that guy
role
gone?
that these machines started in and continue to this day with various types of aircraft undertaking that forward air control role.
So the forward air control has really come into its own over recent years.
Gone
as
out
well,
of sight at the
particularly,
moment.
Various operations, including Afghanistan, Iraq, the whole
All the way
really.
through Vietnam as well. A lot of Australian pilots were used up there as forward air controllers, seconded to the United States Air Force.
Where's he gone? Where's he
They
gone?
were
Where's he
all
gone?
fast jet pilots. Why would you put a fast jet pilot in a slow flying aeroplane? Because they know what the
There
jet
he is,
is
there he is.
capable of, that they're calling in to bomb the target or strafing, what have you.
Great photo opportunity there as he manoeuvres from right to left.
Squadron leader Derek Fox flying up there. He's flown Hercules, including operations in Vietnam. He was a flying instructor at 1FTS at Point Cook, and following his RAF career, he flew for several organisations, including Cathay Pacific, Nauru Airlines, and he is now back flying with 100 Squadron.
I've lost him again. Oh, there he is. Okay.
This aircraft part of 100 Squadron, but there are quite a few of these flying in civilian.
Sorry,
hands
guys,
now.
he's
They
hard to
were,
keep
withdrawn
in
from
frame,
service
this guy.
and sold to private operators. Very rugged, very reliable, very simple as well. You can see the undercarriage is fixed, so we don't have all of the hydraulics to be worried about. The engine is basically unbreakable.
And he's gone out of range again.
And oddly, it is a 3-seat aircraft. It was developed as a 3-seater, but
All right,
in
let's
civilian
wait for the
hands
next
now,
lot to come
the
in.
majority have been converted over to 4-seat so that you can take the wife and the kids along. Lovely.
There's the lighthouse over on our
Now,
left.
just talking about Derek for a moment, he actually started his flying career 50 years
This guy's
ago.
coming in for another pass. I'm going to see if I can get him one last time.
Once you get the bug.
1968.
He's not quite in
he,
range
did
at the
flying
moment.
Training, and he's flown
You see him when the sun
everything,
catches
including
his
a Boeing
wings.
747 jumbo
There
jet,
he
the Boeing
is.
737, the 717,
Okay,
the
come on.
Airbus A320, DC-9, and the Fokker 27.
There he is.
With 18,000 hours of flying behind him.
And you can really tell the way he moves that aircraft. It's just as smooth as silk.
And you are right, Pete. I mean, if you get the bug, you've got the bug, haven't you? There's
never goes.
nothing you could do about it, really.
Okay.
I had the privilege of
All
seeing
right.
Les Munro in New Zealand, of course famous flying with the Dam Busters, and Les and his wife were flown over the Cook Strait, notorious for bad weather, and when he came to Wings over Wairarapa, he was in his 90s. They put him in the Mosquito and off he went. Wow. He came back with a grin on his face that was just indescribable. And as you've got the bug. Don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we have a beautiful day here at Nobby's for this RAAF Air Show. But just remember, please, to keep that sunscreen up, keep the hydration, and if you have a hat, please wear it. If not,
Okay,
there's
so he's
probably
gone.
some
So they go up the Hunter
group
River
down there that will
and
sell
head
you
back
one. But
towards
we
Williamtown
love
in
you to
that
go
direction.
away with great memories here today and no sunburn. Now, if you look again to your right, you can see our next tranche of displays from 100 Squadron. These are the two famous Allied World War II fighters, the Spitfire and the Mustang, led by the Hudson bomber, the only flying Hudson bomber left in the world, and there are only 7 of these aircraft in existence.
Players today, the Hudson by Flight Lieutenant Scott Taberner and Michael Poole, Mustang by Wing Commander Jason Eastcote, and the Spitfire by Flight Lieutenant Ben Laffey.
And Beastie is the CEO of 100 Squadron, and the other pilots are
so Spitfires and Hurricanes, I think he said.
Specialists.
Let's get this guy back in shot. There he
in
is.
the RAF to fly these particular machines.
Hudson? Did he say Hudson?
If you
I'm
have a
not
look
very
at the
good with the
Hudson,
planes. Hudson, there
This
we go.
aircraft was actually put together in record time because the British were looking for manufacture of bombers in the United States. They realised that all of their manufacturing in the UK would be subject to German bombing. The French were looking for aircraft as well, and they sent representatives over to the States. The British Purchasing Commission went to Lockheed, and in 3 days they had a mock-up together showing where the turret would be. This is actually developed from a pre-war airliner. And if you have a look at the sides of the aircraft when it flies by, you'll see that there are still windows there. Now that stayed on production of all the Hudsons during World War II. There are over 2,500 of these manufactured. We had 247 of them in the RAAF operating in Australia, and there were 12 squadrons. There was also one squadron, number 489, that operated in the Mediterranean area, known as the Desert Scorpions. Now, if you have a look at this, this is a relatively large aeroplane from our perspective today, but it was really a light bomber. It carried a very small bomb load, relatively, bombs, depth charges. That huge turret on the back, the Bolton and Paul turret, had rifle caliber machine guns in it again, 303s, 2 forward firing fixed 303s in the nose, and there was also the ability to be able to fire machine guns out of those side windows. Number 1 Squadron was actually based up in Malaya prior to the outbreak of the war in the Pacific, and actually spotted the Japanese invasion fleet heading for
How did
Malaya
that look, guys? Did you get
prior
any
to
good
Pearl
footage of that
Harbor.
guy? Looks like he's out of
The
focus for
aircraft
me
based
right now.
at Kota
Lost
Baru
him.
later attacked the landing
He's having trouble
Japanese
focusing
forces
for some reason.
and sank
So I think I
a
might
vessel
zoom
known
out
as the
and then zoom back in.
Baru, which was the largest merchant vessel that they sank actually during the entire war. And that was in that operation. Our first losses were also at Kota Baru. Australian Hudsons thereafter were actually shadowing the British capital warships, the Prince of Wales and Repulse, and witnessed the downing of those aircraft, those ships by the Japanese aircraft. It was an actual catastrophic loss for the British at that time. As I said, this is the only Hudson flying anywhere in the world, and only one of 7 that are surviving. So we're very, very lucky to see the aircraft here today. As you can see, it's completed its procedure turn, and it is now heading back up the river and back towards Williamtown. Now, coming in from the right, the Spitfire. This particular aircraft is a Mark 16. It is one of the well over
It's right up in front of the sun at the moment, so I can't
24
see it.
different
Hang on.
marks. First flew in 1930. First flew in December.
Yeah, he's up there. There we go.
1936.
Let me see if I can get him.
Went into service with the Royal Air Force at Duxford in Cambridgeshire with number 19 Squadron in 1938. We had over 650 of these aircraft flying from Australia, the Mark 5 and the Mark 8.
Gosh, they're hard to catch.
This is a Mark 16, and it flew. This aircraft actually flew with number 453 Squadron, part of the 2nd Tactical Air Force, RAF, during the campaign over Europe. We were very fortunate to have the pilot of this aircraft, the first Australian to fly this machine. It was a brand new aircraft that came into the squadron, and he described what it was like to be given the keys of this brand new aeroplane. They were used for ground attack, and he actually described flying along. They were looking for V1, the German flying bombs, when a V2, the big rocket, actually took off right in front of the group. Flown today by Ben Lappin. He is a very highly experienced warbird pilot. What is a warbird? Warbird is any ex-military aircraft currently flying in civilian hands. And to be able to fly the Spitfire, one of the ultimate warbirds, is an absolute incredible achievement. Look at the beautiful elliptical wing platform there, which is a very, very strong wing. Very difficult to build, actually. It's quite complex, but it is extremely strong. Has very good low-speed flying characteristics. It can be fitted with a variety of different armaments, including up to 8 machine guns, then a combination of machine guns and cannons. Finally, in the later marks, 4 20mm cannons as a standard armament.
Now, when you think that in production back in 1939, a Spitfire cost about $22,000 to make.
Boy, that's hard to keep in frame. That's so difficult.
And, in today's money, that's about $1.1 million. Compare that to the astronomical cost of a fighter aircraft, it seems like a snip. So, for example, an F-35, around 100 million Australian dollars each.
Oh, there he is.
This machine, a beautiful sound of that Rolls-Royce Merlin engine. Once you hear that sound, you will never ever forget it. Especially if you're privileged enough to be somewhere where a Spitfire is taken off.
And there's still quite a lot of these aircraft airworthy, is that right, Pete?
Yes, they are rebuilding quite a lot of these
well done, Sarah.
Around the world, particularly in the UK. When you have a look at some of the
really
places
hard to
like
keep him in frame.
airframe assemblies that are down on the Isle of Wight. You also have aircraft restoration company there at Duxford, run by John Romain. Duxford, the first place for the Spitfire to fly, is still the ancestral home. Look at that. What a wonderful sight. Brilliantly flown by Ben Lapham today.
I hope you're getting some great shots.
Joined 100 Squadron and became one of their specialist pilots. It's not everybody that can manage to get into a Spitfire or any of these aircraft because they are so valuable. This machine was actually the logo aircraft for Warbirds over Wanaka.
There he goes, back up, heading back towards Williamtown.
Fortunately, recently passed away. Our next display aircraft will be the legendary North American Aviation P-51 Mustang.
Alright, so it appears they're all coming from this direction.
Coming in from your right now, this aircraft
yes,
is
here
painted
comes one.
in the markings of a machine that operated...
Alright, he's a bit quicker. I feel like I did well to keep him in frame. Whoa, he's a bit quicker.
Himself, very highly experienced fighter pilot.
Going up over.
Flying with number 75 Squadron.
Okay, I think we'll wait for him to come back down because I can't follow him in front of the sun.
Jets.
Okay, here we go.
Came over to the RAAF. With the CEO of a number of squadrons that were flying F-35A.
Alright, he's almost impossible to keep in frame, this guy. Oh, let me see.
Because the Mustang is the fighter with the 7 league boots.
No, he keeps going. Oh my goodness, he's all
Part
over
of
the
that British
place.
Air Purchasing Commission we spoke about earlier on with the Hudson, they were also looking for fighters. And they wanted the P-40 Kitty Hawk to be built under licence by North American Aviation. They said they could build a better aircraft with the same engine in the same time that it would take.
I don't even know if I got him in frame that time.
They accepted, ordered aircraft off the drawing board, and that aircraft was produced in record time and became a world leader. Initially powered by the Allison V12, the same as in the P-40. Rolls-Royce engineers later thought, what would it be like with a Merlin? So they fitted 5 of these aircraft, took the Allisons out, put the Merlin in, and the performance increase was substantial. That information went back to the United States. North American incorporated the Merlin, produced the P-51B. Why do we call it a P-51? That is the old designation for a fighter. P for pursuit. Because when the Merlin Mustangs were introduced, this really changed the course of the air war in Europe. What we see here is one of the later models, the mass-produced...
Sorry about that, guys. I can't get him in shot at all, this one. It's just really difficult.
650 caliber machine guns. It could also carry 2 1,000-pound bombs,
I'm mostly
drop
guessing.
tanks, or up to 10 air-to-ground rockets.
Alright, there he is.
This aircraft is painted up as AC-750, flown by Squadron Leader Susans in Japan. There were thousands of these aircraft manufactured, just under 17,000 of them, the majority the version that you see flying here today. But it is little known that the only other country to manufacture the Mustang was Australia. Again, by the Commonwealth Aircraft Corporation down here.
I think I got him that time.
RAAF used Mustangs as part of the British Commonwealth Occupation Force. They were too late to see service during World War II, but the aircraft of 77 Squadron were packed up and ready to come back to Australia in 1950 when the North Koreans came across the 38th parallel. 77 Squadron very quickly demothballed the aircraft, got them ready, and Australia was the first non-American units to operate with the United Nations forces up in Korea. Served with great distinction flying Mustangs, led by Lou Spence, who unfortunately lost his life in an attack on railway marshalling yards at Angang Ni. One of the design features incorporated from the outset to the Mustang was the then radical laminar flow wing, which was designed such that the turbulence created by the air going over the wing was actually pushed back so that it reduced drag. And one of the other features was that big scoop that was under the fuselage.
We got him that time.
The oil coolers and the radiators.
Got him that time.
So you would think that produced a lot of drag. It actually, with expelling that hot air through the duct just behind the cooler inlet, actually produces a little bit of thrust for the aircraft. They were used by the Americans during the campaign over Europe and also in the Pacific for what they call the VLR, the very long range missions. Some of these missions took up to 8 hours. And there's the wing waggle there for the last part. But we will be doing that those VLR missions, flying from places like Iwo Jima to attack the Japanese homelands. Groups like the 506 fighter group. And their biggest enemy then was not the Japanese Air Force, it was actually the weather. One mission, at least one of the 506 actually lost 25 aircraft returning to Iwo Jima because of the horrendous weather. This is one of the factors that we don't think very much about. We just think about air-to-air combat.
That was very cool, but very difficult.
They also had to look at the elements. You imagine
unbelievably hard to keep them in frame.
World War II winter.
All right, what's next?
Horrendous weather there, and also the massive thunderstorms.
How are we doing, guys? How many of you are still here with me?
The intertropic convergence and across the equator.
Now I don't know if you can see, but do you remember that there was a sculpture at Fort Scratchley a couple of months ago with a whale? Looks like the whale is still there,
although
up on
it
top
has
of
its
Fort
origins
Scratchley,
in the design
which is
philosophy
amazing. Look at it;
during
it just looks
that Second World
gorgeous
War
sitting up
period.
there right on top of the
Just another
fort
little
against the
parish
sky.
notice. Keep that 50 plus up. Keep hydrated out there.
Thanks, Claire. Excellent. I'm glad you're still
crowd
here.
watching these fantastic
Beautiful.
aircraft perform
Oh,
today.
here, what have we got
and
this
from
time?
your right,
Oh.
the Canberra bomber. This aircraft is being flown today by Air Chief Marshal Mark Minskin, former Chief of Air Force and Chief of the Defence Force. Now, Mark joined the Royal Australian Navy and he was flying A4 Skyhawks before serving a bit of time with the RAAF. When the Skyhawks were taken out of service, he went back to the RAF and was flying Mirages and also F-35A.
Yep, the sun's just caught his wings, so we've got him again.
F-35A display pilot. This is something different. But we have said about Mark that he has actually gone over to the dark side flying a bomber. As you can see, even from this distance, that wing is huge. It's not designed for very high speed. The design philosophy of this machine actually comes from the Second World War, where the Mosquito first flew as completely unarmed fast bomber. That was the philosophy. That was the same philosophy
here he
adopted
comes.
for this
Got him
aircraft.
lined up.
In fact, they started to come up with design ideas during the Second World War, but it wasn't until May 1949 that
Lovely, Faith.
the machine
Great.
worked. It's fitted with what is known as an axial flow engine. Now, during the very latter stages of the Second World War, the British and the Germans were producing jet aircraft. The Germans actually had theirs on fighter and bomber operations, and they used the axial flow engine. The British used a thing called the centrifugal flow
Right, he's
engine.
turning over there
Produced
now.
by Frank Whittle from his designs. Unfortunately, that centrifugal flow engine could only be developed so far, but the German idea of the air going straight down through the middle of the engine rather than being spun up with a big,
Excellent, Sarah.
a big turbine wheel.
Right, he's a little bit further away now. I'm not going to zoom in from here. I'm sure he's going to get closer to
all
us.
the way around the world now. powered by two Rolls-Royce Avon engines, either Mark 101 or 109s. They produce between 6,500 and 7,500 pound thrust.
Okay, here he
See
comes.
that very
Here he
thick wing
comes.
there. This aircraft can actually be aerobatic. In fact, the Pakistani Air Force had an aerobatic team that was made up of Canberras. They were built by English Electric in the UK. This is actually a British-built aircraft. They were built by the government aircraft factories here in Australia and also by Martin in the USA. It's incredible to
Hi,
think that there are
Adriana.
over
Lovely to see
58
you. Thanks for
different
coming
variants
along.
of this. And some of these aircraft were so
The
highly
commentary's
modified
fantastic,
that
isn't it,
you
Tariq?
could
I'm glad he's there.
very easily imagine that they are not Canberras, and some of them are still flying with NASA now with huge wings for photography of the space shuttle, and one of them is actually going to be used potentially this weekend if Elon Musk's SpaceX gets their Starship up, and it will be taking photos of the re-entry. Australia used
Right, I
these
just saw the sun catch his
machines,
wing,
they
so he's over
replaced
there.
the four-engine
Let's
Lincoln
wait till he
bomber,
comes to
which
us.
looks very much like a Lancaster on steroids. Very easy to fly, no vices, as I said, handled like a fighter, and very highly manoeuvrable. Australia was the first overseas customer for the Canberra, and licence manufactured by the government aircraft factory. Number 2 Squadron operated these aircraft with great distinction in Vietnam.
Okay, looks like he's turning now.
And, they proved that they
Should
could
be
do
heading back towards us
precision
now.
bombing.
Okay, let me
They
see
were
if I can
used in very,
zoom in on him a
very
little
tight
bit.
situations. This aircraft is actually painted up as a machine that operated out of Phan Rang Bay with number 2 Squadron. It is currently flying with 100 Squadron, but in its real life as an RAF machine, it did serve time with 100 Squadron RAF. Like all good British aircraft, I say to my co-commentator here, all British Navy aircraft must have a lanyard in them, and all British Air Force aircraft must have some wood. The vertical fin on this machine is actually made out of wood, whereas here in Australia we decided we didn't want to do that.
This aircraft came into service, this particular one came into service in December 1955, which is insane.
Spent some time
It's an old plane, isn't it?
with number 104 Squadron at RAF Gütersloh in Germany. I hope I've pronounced that correctly.
You did.
And it has actually
isn't
had
it,
a couple of little incidents.
Where's he gone? Oh, there he is, over top of Fort
during this
Scratchley.
time, actually, where
There he
the
is,
navigator
coming back,
actually ejected
coming back for
out
another
of the
pass.
aircraft. Look at that beautiful wing platform there. The British machines, such as you see here, have a pilot and
He's
two
easier
other
to keep in
crew members,
frame
a
because he's a
bomber
bit
and
slower, I think.
navigator,
It's
who
great.
sit
I like
in
the slow
seats
ones.
behind the pilot. They have two tiny little windows, about 5 inches square, and I can say that I've actually flown in this particular machine, and it is quite claustrophobic in there, especially when you're doing aerobatics, because all you can see is blue, green, brown flashing past in the window. And it's further claustrophobic in that you are sitting in an ejection
I'm glad that cloud's
seat.
there. I can line him up.
Part
I
of
can
the
line him up in the
ejection
frame.
sequence
All right,
is when
he's
you
about
pull the handle,
there we go.
there's a huge hatch over the top of your head that blows off. For bomb aiming, the bomb aimer has to get out of his seat and crawl forward, and you'll see there's a big plexiglass nose there as the aircraft flies past to our left, heading back to Williamtown. He has to lay down in that and then do his bomb aiming a la World War
so this
II.
is
We're very, very
his
highly
last
successful
pass. He's going to head back up the river now, so we'll catch him
Vietnam,
on his
using
last
the call
pass.
sign Magpie.
There he goes. There he goes. All right. That was pretty cool. That one was awesome.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are about to go into the next phase of our display this afternoon. And
this big ship
to
leaving
help us with that, we
port.
have Flight Lieutenant
Here we go.
Nathan Siegel.
This big ship's just heading out.
Welcome to the commentary position. We would like to warn everybody, first up, if you haven't been around close proximity with an F-35 manoeuvring, it is very, very noisy.
Okay,
So,
it's going to get noisy, guys.
anybody that has
F-35.
little kiddies that might be a little bit worried, just warn them
I'm going
first.
to be careful of my balance that I don't
Because
fall
there
over.
is
This
a
is where
lot
I'm
of
standing.
noise.
Look where I'm standing. I'm on
What
this
are we
rock.
going to see?
And it's a bit
Thanks very much.
uneven.
Yeah, we're going to see
So-
Bunga do a fantastic display today.
Every time I turn around and pivot and it's all
10
zoomed
minutes.
in,
But
this
first
is what
I
I'm
think
dealing
we're
with
gonna
as well,
see him,
trying to keep
come
my
in with
balance on this
The
rock.
heritage flight.
Heritage flight, that's right.
So,
yeah, so
the pitfalls of being the photographer for you guys.
And you'll see the Mustang in the lead with Bunga
Right.
following
Where's
him
this
on the wing.
F-35?
Bunga's going to be flying
It's gonna
cruise
coming
slow
in.
here, but the Mustang will be flying close to its, well, probably
And
medium
Bunga
speed.
is Flight Lieutenant Ross Bowman, and he's been
These
flying
things
this
are loud.
machine
They
for a
come
bit
over
as
our
the
place
display
where we're living
pilot.
in
Worked up
Nelson
this
Bay.
routine. It is
or close
very
to.
noisy in parts, so if we get drowned out, that is unfortunate, but that is what the aircraft does. That is how it operates. This is our new frontline fighter, and it is
Right.
unbelievably
I just need to plug in my
capable.
battery. Just got a battery warning.
One of the
So,
most
just need to
advanced
plug this
aircraft
in
flying
here.
anywhere in the world. So we're just getting the two aircraft formed up. You'll see that there's an incredible
Sorry, guys, I
size
just
difference between
need to plug that in. Sorry
the
about that.
Mustang and
And
the
plug this in
F-35.
here.
But these were the cutting edge, or are the cutting
There,
edge.
there.
Of
I should
the
be good now.
aircraft
My
of our
battery should be good
fighters
now.
for the RAF.
Now, one of the things that we did say is that Bunga's has a little background music.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go.
does, that's
There
right,
they go.
yeah.
There they
There
go.
it is.
What an incredible sight there. You can see the F-35 slightly nose up, just keeping pace with the Mustang. Obviously there's a huge speed disparity between the two. But,
Well, that
wonderful
wasn't so
machine.
noisy. I was expecting more than that.
Don't be
So
fooled by how
maybe it's
quiet he was during that pass there at low airspeed. The jet's actually pretty silent, but once he gets moving during his solo display, it'll be much louder than that.
I hope I can keep up with
And
that.
of course, Williamtown runway was increased substantially in length so that the aircraft could take off without needing afterburner, just to keep the noise levels down for friendly operations around Williamtown.
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, we did that work. I think we finished that ended up finishing that about 2 years ago, just in time for the fleet to start.
What do you say? It's an F-35 and a Mirage, I think you
So we
said?
talk about the F-35s manufactured by Lockheed Martin. It's a 5th generation fighter. What does that actually mean?
Well, most
So they're right over there at the moment.
Western aircraft are defined in generations, and the Hornet, if most people remember the F-18 Classic Hornet, which was based at Williamtown up until a few years ago, that was a 4th generation fighter. This generation fighter is defined by stealth capabilities, sensitive
Whoa.
capabilities.
Whoa!
And they really are like the leading edge of fighter technology at this time. The F-35 will be the most prolific fighter in the world once they get all of the jets off the line.
We've ordered 72 of the aircraft, and it's getting up to the point where we will take delivery
All right,
of the
we've
last
just got to
of
guess
those
where they're going to
machines,
come in from now.
Not too distant future.
So I can zoom in again.
Operate the aircraft.
Wow, yeah, indeed.
So
oh, look, the sun's just caught. The sun's just caught them. So let me see if I can zoom in on them. There they are. They're just in front of that cloud there.
So we're both instructors at 2ICU. And then we have 3 frontline squadrons. That's number 3 squadron, number 77 squadron, and number 75 squadron. Which is
my guess is they're going to do a big turnaround near the lighthouse again and come in from the left
now,
again.
these aircraft are single seat, so there would be a lot of time spent on the simulator, I imagine, to get... Now get your cameras ready, ladies and gentlemen, because we'll see our first generation, well, our first line aircraft from World War II and from the present, doing their split, and Bunga going into his routine.
Oh, he's gone back up. The other one's gone back up. Hunter, I think he's heading back to Williamtown. And the F-35 is coming back in from the direction of Fort Scratchley. So
the place to go. So if you're interested, if you want to become a
I think we're going to have another pass from the F-35.
Years to become qualified on something like this, but well worth the effort.
It's great, isn't it, Joanne?
So here comes Bunga from the right. He's going to be doing about 300 knots here, and then
300 knots. Okay, so please forgive me if I lose him. Oh, there he is. Okay. Oh, there he is. Okay, let me see if I can catch him back in the frame again. Come on. Where are you?
They're designed to...
Alright, he's going that way.
That's right, yeah, infrared and also radio frequency missiles as well.
Alright, so I think we're going to get another pass because he's gone in that direction. Isn't this amazing? Wow. Oh, here we go. Here he comes. Zoom in again. Yep. What's he dropping? He's dropping like little flares.
That's a really difficult question to answer, Neil, but you do have a great amount. So the jet pulls information from all sorts of sources. A lot of it's onboard sensors, so it's radar, it's infrared sensors. It also can interrogate like air traffic control radar can as well. It can do that.
Come on, where are you? Where are you?
So, for example, you'll see the E-7A Wedgetail later on today. That passes us information over data link, and we can seamlessly fuse that along with other F-35s, passing us data link information on our display.
And you get a lot of information in the actual helmet, correct?
That's right, yeah. So Bunga here is configured, he's got his gear down. He'll be flying pretty slow, but we'll see him actually get a bit slower later on today. This will be about 150 to 200 knots from this pass.
I'm amazing myself, Faith. I'm absolutely amazing myself. But I got another battery warning. I'm really worried that I'm going to lose you guys. Damn it. I've got my battery plugged in. I might have to plug it into the gimbal because I don't know what's going on here.
Is the carrier version that's flown by the US Navy. So while this aircraft does have an arresting hook, it's really only used for
Right, I'm going to try plugging the camera into the gimbal and see if that helps.
Will be coming in at,
I would really, really, really hate to run out of
that's
battery.
almost 1,200 kilometers an hour.
Oh, sugar. Look at him. There's no way I can zoom in on that.
What is happening there? So as the air passes over the wing, the air will speed up due to the shape of the wing.
Let's see if I can zoom in
And
on
as the
it
air speeds
now.
up, the density reduces, and to reduce the density, and the cloud starts to form. So pretty much we're just seeing Bunga making some clouds over the top of his wing.
And we have the same thing off the wingtips as well.
That's
Where
right.
is he? Where's he gone?
Those vortices are sometimes
Kind of in that direction there.
You'll see them a lot as the aircraft maneuvers through its turns today.
And the manoeuvring on this is incredible. Some of the things that you can see here today, 20 years ago, were just not possible.
Being able to carry weapons inside is a key component of our stealth capability in the
He's making all that noise and they're talking about stealth capability. Okay.
Look through the aeroplane, is that right? That is correct, yes, you actually can do that. So the aircraft has a number
Fantastic,
of...
Claire. No need to zoom. Sometimes it's better to see the whole picture.
360
Yeah, I agree, but I'm not sure exactly whether it's just a dot. Okay, here we go. He's doing this pass again. Look, whoa, 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 whoa. This is not zoomed at all.
I have heard that described as...
I don't even know if I got him in frame that time. Right, he's up there. He's up there. I'm just guessing. I'm pointing generally in roughly the right direction and hoping that I'm catching him in frame. He's going upside down, I think. Oh no, he's not. Oh, I hope you got that.
Bunga has his hand on a stick, but the stick's not physically connected to the flight controls. It's just controlling sending a signal to the
Stealth,
computer.
yeah, Joanne.
The computer decides what it needs
Those
to do with the
pilots
flight
are
controls
crazy.
to move the aircraft.
I know.
So here's a big question. What's it like to fly this thing?
I've got to change hands. Hang on.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's,
that hand's
it's
getting
a lot
really
of work
sore.
sometimes, but I
Look at this
absolutely
guy's
love it.
camera.
Can
I don't
we
even
go
know
as
how
far
he
as
would
saying
find
it's
him.
a
How
ripper?
does he
It
find
is a
this guy in
ripper.
the sky, zoomed in
Look at this.
with that camera?
So Bunga's
Right,
coming
where
down
are
to
you?
this
Where is
high
he?
alpha pass here. He's probably going to be down.
Oh, he's over there. There he is. He's over there.
105 knots. For comparison, that's maybe
Okay, I'm not going to zoom this time. We'll just see.
or as fast as your average.
Let's see. Let's see him come towards us.
Alpha actually means.
High angle of attack. So where the nose of the aircraft is pointing compared to the flight path of the aircraft, you'll see he keeps his nose very high, and that's what we have to do in this aircraft to keep ourselves aloft at such a short speed.
And this is not just part infantry. This can also be part of racing and air combat manoeuvring.
Absolutely, Sarah, she is. Definitely.
That's approximately 28,000 pounds of thrust, 43,000 pounds in max AB. The jet itself at the moment probably
We've been going for just on an hour, and I'm
I'd probably call
worried
that
about my battery.
16 to 17 ton.
So if we cut out, we'll leave it there. But I'm just going to keep on here for as long as possible. Right, here we go. Here he goes again.
If you watch this exhaust during this turn, you'll see the afterburner lead. It's that bigger There's also what makes all that noise.
Did you see the afterburner there? So he's dropping like flares. I've lost him again. Oh, there he is.
Right,
Okay.
yeah, so he'll accelerate away from us now and then turn back in and fly what's called a pedal turn. The pedal turn, once again, is not just a party trick. It's something we'll use in actual air combat if we need it. And it gives us the ability to reorientate our nose very rapidly. So that if, say, we're pointing away from a hostile aircraft, we can very rapidly point at it again.
And the computer systems in this can actually pick out
Right.
which
Here
is
it comes,
the
here it
worst
comes, here it
threat
comes.
out of quite a number of active enemy aircraft. That's
I don't know if he's in frame or not, guys. I'm just pointing skywards and hoping.
And they say, I want to be able to fly those
Oh, great. Excellent. I had no idea if he was in frame during that pass.
There you'll get posted if you're going to go fly F-35s onto the jet stream of
Oh, there he is, out over the sea.
That's
All right.
9 months to learn.
He's got a pretty long segment, hasn't he, this guy?
That's right. And then to convert onto the
All right,
F-35
he's heading
in 6
towards us
months.
again.
So altogether,
So between this guy and
That's
the...
right, yeah.
Ah, here we go, here we go.
Not flying at all. Yeah, it's a great day for it.
the closer you get to the speed of sound as well, if you have the right atmospheric conditions, you can actually see the cone where that speed of sound is.
That's right. You'll just start to see that cone start to appear. He won't go that fast today, but he'll get close.
Otherwise, if you
I don't know where he is at the moment. I don't know where he's gone.
Fort Scratchley.
That's right.
All right, looks like my gimbal seems to be powering my phone okay. Fingers crossed. The
Now, these aircraft still,
F-35 is...
set
Oh,
up
there he is.
for
He's over
in-wing
the
closing
lighthouse.
with cannon.
So
That's
maybe
right, yes, we have
maybe
the
he's on his
F-35A
last
will
pass.
have an internal cannon fitted, and so it does give off that
Where'd he
capability.
go? Where'd he go?
As well as obviously beyond visual.
Oh, here he is.
And you've got a little radio.
All right.
That's right. So give away for not to see the pass. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Woo-wee. How was that? How was that? Oh my goodness. How was that? That was amazing. Okay guys, I've got a decision to make. Battery is low on my phone. I've still got to
So
get
we welcome Flight Lieutenant
home.
Brendan.
Do I continue?
Rocky.
Are you guys going to stay
Now,
with me?
You are going to be
Shall we see one more? I think one more show. What do you think? One more?
From your perspective.
It's It's just on an hour. I promised you an hour. Let's wait and see what comes up next.
And thanks for having us along, number 35 Squadron, demonstrating the C-27J Spartan. I'm Flight Lieutenant Brendan Lohman, or Lowy. I've come down with the team from Brisbane, from Amberley, just west of Ipswich, inbound from the right.
Oh, look.
The C-27J.
This looks like a big, what is it? A big thing. A big thing.
Now this aircraft looks like a mini Herc.
Yeah, that's right. We often get called a mini Herc, but we're quite a different asset. A lot lighter. We get into some pretty rugged fields, playing mostly in Papua New Guinea Islands, across in the Southwest Pacific, supporting those people out there that need our help, or working with government to transport people in and out of the of those different areas.
And you can actually get into more than double the number of airfields that the Herc can.
Alright,
And
there he
this
is.
why
There he
this
is up
aircraft
there.
is such a vital machine, not only for military operations but also for humanitarian.
Just trying to see if I can zoom in.
100%. So as you can see, Squadron back just manoeuvring the aircraft around now to demonstrate that particular ability to be able to get into those strips. So he's going to go flat full here, landing gear down. And if you have a good look at the landing gear on this aircraft, it's able to take an impact of about 600 feet per minute. So that's like jumping off a 3-story building. So quite rugged airfield, capable aircraft, which allows us to get into those fields that the C-130 might be a bit more limited by either weight
Sure, can you see him?
or length.
Oh, there he is. There he is. There he is. Okay, good.
And this basically
Oh, thanks,
tactical
Claire.
battlefield
Awesome.
airlifter, I think you could say, is its technical description.
Yeah, Joanne, they
But,
just said that it often
it
gets
is an incredible
compared to the
aircraft,
Hercules.
and it has the same engines as a
It feels really
Hercules,
slow
so
after the last one, doesn't it?
of
Gosh, it feels
assistance
slow.
To Australia with all of the logistics, you don't have to have more and more spares.
Yeah, quite similar as you said. So very similar engines, similar makeup, similar avionics inside the aircraft as well, which helps. We've got some pilots. So Squadron Leader Beck, who's handling the aircraft today, is actually from C-130J, and then came across to the C-27J because it's a little bit more fun, I believe, than the C-130.
Most definitely.
Working alongside him today is
All right. I
Hayden Kramer, or call sign
I'm going to
Cosmo.
start walking.
Is our show pony
So
co-pilot.
we'll keep
We've
this
brought him
guy
down today because
in our
he loves the
sights.
beach and he loves Newcastle.
But
now that he's
I
made the
do not
migration
want
from Perth
my phone to
the
run
East
out of
Coast.
battery. So I'm going
Working
to start
alongside
walking
him
back
in
towards
the
Fort
back of the
Scratchley.
aircraft there, we've got 2 Loadmasters.
What I'll do is I'll
So
head
the
over towards the
Loadmasters there,
beach. So
they'll manage the entire
we're walking
cargo area and then back
still
us
within
up,
sight of the
in flight
aircraft.
component for the aircraft as well.
What does a Loadmaster actually do for the people who don't know what the term means?
Yeah, so you can imagine we can fit a fair bit of
So I'll
stuff in the
take you
back
back
of the
this way.
C-27, and that can be weird shaped objects, can be heavy
Can I get
objects,
through
can be long, or some manual requirements are needed to try and get it up in the back of the aircraft, because where we go to, there's not always a forklift around, but there's always
Alrighty.
people. So we'll generally find Loadmasters trying to find a solution to a problem.
So I've also got an ice pack with me today, just in case, because the last time I took this phone out, it overheated. So I brought an ice pack with me today. Here he comes again.
Helping get those different bits of cargo on the back of the aircraft and then load it up and good to go flying.
So the door's open in the back.
Yep, so out the back there, one Loadmaster, we've got Oaks, ordinarily you'll be waiting on the parachute door, so another function for the C-27. We can just flip a switch effectively and move into a parachuting type role. So the door open there is our parachute door, and we can have our paratroopers jumping out both left and right of the aircraft. Or if they want, we can go out of the ramp. So we can do that from as low as 1,000 feet right up to the 25 odd thousand feet, quite high on oxygen, supporting maybe special.
All right.
So
So I'm going to walk back this way, along the top of the sand dune here, which means we're not quite as close to the commentary as we were. This is where I was standing, over on these rocks over here, near where all these photographers are. So that's where I was standing over there. And the tug is just coming back in up the river that took that big ship out, guided that big ship out to sea.
You'll see chaos as our training guys, which is quite fitting. He's been involved in flying training, and then the other.
Here comes that. Well, that was pretty cool. Not sure if I've chosen the right thing to do here. My path is pretty well blocked going in that direction. Oh, Sarah, aren't you in my group? Can someone help Sarah with a link to the Down Under group? It's Susanna and myself have a Facebook group called the Down Unders. And if you do a search on it, as in then all one word, Down Unders, you'll find the one with a banner. Where is he? Oh, here we go.
We'll see you all this afternoon.
That is fantastic, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks, Brandon, for that. And
Just almost lost my balance trying to look up.
Excellent, thanks everyone.
and I do love those.
Yeah, the Down Unders. It's the group that Susanna and I manage. And look for a banner. The banner has painted silos. Is the banner image.
Anybody that's operating a drone,
but
please
if
stop
someone,
because if we see a drone operating, we are going to have to shut down the display, and we don't.
if someone has a link to it, that would be awesome.
We have an exclusion zone out the front there where the display box exists.
Alright, how do I get out of here? This way.
Otherwise we have to shut it down for safety reasons. And again, just like to
Here he
remind
comes,
you,
back, heading back up the river.
Here, this wonderful Newcastle day, absolutely fantastic here at Nobby's. But please keep the hydration going. And keep that if you've got a hat, then wear it. But if not, there's probably somebody.
Thank you,
down
Claire.
there
Thanks for sharing that.
who would like to sell you a hat. And very soon.
Hopefully
we
that's
are,
come into the
going to
chat for
see
Sarah.
The Force Roulettes. And what I would like to do is.
And feel free to share that group widely.
Our, commentary team representative, but we also have.
I tend to post more information about my tours in Going Places, Bev's group, and of course in Together Virtually. But I sorry,
we're looking forward to this very much.
The tannoy is right here. But I encourage sharing of postcards in the Down Unders group, and we will talk about all things Australian in there as well. All right, so I think that was absolutely amazing. It does go for about another hour, but I know that my battery's going to die soon, and I need to catch public transport back to my daughter's house. So for anyone who hasn't walked along this break wall with me before, this is the artwork, the street art.
Williamtown Air Show, and I'd like to welcome Roulette 7,
Here.
who's joining me here today, Flight Lieutenant Peter Brewster. Brewery, that's your call sign, correct?
It is just a short of my last name, classic for Aussies, but thanks, Shanksy, for having us here. What a beautiful day for the show today.
So a day like today, obviously.
So we've got this gorgeous street art along this side of this building, Aboriginal themed wildlife and sea themed. So we've got the kangaroo there, and we've got the surf lifesavers and depictions of the ocean. and the surf crew, surf lifeboat crew.
And we're going to hear a bit more about that in just a few minutes when we see the roulettes for the first time. Today it's a 4-ship display.
Oh, the roulettes are coming. All right, I'm going to stay on for as long as possible because the roulettes are worth seeing. So let me see. We'll pop up here. We'll pop up here and see if we can see the roulettes.
On the beach in such a beautiful environment as Newcastle.
Yeah, not only is it...
Okay, so yeah, the roulettes are worth seeing.
But what a backdrop, and everyone's standing on the beach, enjoying the sun. It's nice to come up.
I just need to find a spot to see them.
Look, I think we're in for an absolute treat here this afternoon when we see the roulettes come through. Obviously, we fly the PC-21, which is a trainer that the Air Force uses.
Yeah, so we transitioned to the PC-21 as part of
here they are.
modernisation of our training systems in 2019.
And here they are. So, Brewy,
so they're a formation team
here to start the show today.
This is a box loop, generally run in from the rear of the crowds for that surprise factor. And you can see they're using the smoke generation pods that are sitting under each wing of the aircraft just to highlight the manoeuvres.
And that's also a safety thing so that you can see each other when you're doing those manoeuvres, correct?
Yeah, so it just gives us a bit of a visual reference of what our flight path has been, and also a quick identification of where the other aircraft are when things are getting a little bit more dynamic, which we'll see later in the show.
So who are we seeing flying here today?
We're seeing roulette 1 through 4. So Squadron Leader Lockie Hazelbrand is roulette 1. Flight Lieutenant James Dusty, roulette 2, Flight Lieutenant Stephen Harrigan, roulette 3, and Flight Lieutenant Justin Hayter is roulette 4. So, forward down the back. To the right,
Now, all of the pilots flying here today for the roulettes, instructors for the Royal Australian Air Force teaching, the new crop of pilots coming through each and every year.
Yeah, so, excuse me, the pilots here are instructors, so they work at flying school down rotation.
Thanks, Claire. Yeah, I don't think you're allowed to post links in that chat. Is that right? Is that what you had a problem with? Yeah, I've got a feeling you can't post links in the YouTube chat.
From there, after a couple of years of instructing new ADF pilot trainees, I'll go back to setting flying school with a learning technique of teaching our experienced ADF pilots how to be instructors.
Now, we're seeing them coming through. Is this particular loop, does it have a special name or is it just a loop?
This is the offset loop, so I come in from the ground level distance. Just gives you a slightly different aspect to the loop loops of the call, and for a box fly pass here. So from the pool of the Central Flying School instructors, they will then be selected based on their performance to begin a work up to join the roulette themselves. So again, still a few gates to get through to become one of these pilots. They're very experienced. Pilots flying on the displays, like taxiing, all of the skills and bodies of the pilots.
Now, obviously, we're seeing them do some particular manoeuvres here, which does bring about those G-forces. What exactly is a G-force?
So at the moment we're experiencing one of the environments in the aircraft when the aircraft accelerates around the corner or in a climb, and the nature of the body once it's been going forward as the pilot is pushed by the seat in that new direction and they do feel. So the parts of the turn, the more heat you're experiencing in this type of display, they're generally experiencing up to events.
That's right, Joanne. Yes, I did. Yeah. And do you recall the whale on top of Fort Scratchley that we can see up there as well? We did the sculpture trail up there in the last weeks of Hago as well.
Now what's it?
again. They're about to leave another trail. There we go. They're pretty cool, aren't they, these guys? Awesome. Very cool. Okay, coming back round again. They're going towards Fort Scratchley now. So I think they'll loop around up the top there where all the VIPs are.
What sort of aircraft are we looking at? So Lockie Roulette 1, he flew the P3 Orion based out of Adelaide. They joined in 2001, graduated in 2004.
Okay, where are they? They're about to come in. Oh, here they are. Here they come.
And this manoeuvre just quickly the
Yeah, that's it, Joanne. Exactly. That's exactly what they're like. Although I think don't the red arrows sometimes have coloured smoke as well, if I remember, or am I thinking about another formation crew, perhaps? I seem to recall seeing footage with red, white, and blue smoke. Oh, where did they go? Where did they go? Oh, there they are.
And also was part of the team that brought the went on to fly Superwater before training at
All right, listen, guys. I hope you don't mind that after this last pass, the next one coming up, I'm actually going to finish up because, as I said, I'm worried about my battery dying and also my phone overheating. And we've been going for almost an hour and a half, which I think is fantastic. There's only about another half an hour to go of the air show. We're not going to see it all. I didn't think that we would see it all. But here we go. There they go. Yeah, I just got another low battery warning. So I'm going to finish up here. And let me just get down to this walkway and I'll say goodbye to everyone. I think it's been absolutely amazing. Look at the people over here. So there's food tents, obviously, and all sorts of things going on.
So I flew all over Australia and parts of the world. Beautiful aircraft to fly. We're still
so I'm going to finish up
level,
here.
which is fun
the
as a pilot.
security guys trying to force everyone.
Proficient on a 737 essentially. Before coming
turn around. The camera's not turning around.
By the 21, which is a magnificent.
Camera's not turning around. Oh, there it is.
Doing a fantastic
I'm going to finish up here, everyone.
Now, this
so
is
thank you,
quite
everyone. I'm standing right next to a tannoy, which is a bit annoying, so it's making it very loud. But I've just got another battery warning. I don't think I'm going to push my luck on this, so we'll finish up here. Please share your postcards. If you've got anything
during these
fantastic that came out of today, please share it. I really want to see it.
The communications between
and I'll see you on another tour real soon.
A specific way that
just
they keep
one
in touch.
quick farewell
So the team, Roulette 1
of the sky as it looks after that last pass. There we go.
To allow
Thanks, everyone.
The team to
and until next time, bye for now.
What's coming up, but the displays are that well